myself. And I'm sure Rebekka will be delighted to answer any questions as well. So let's go through tonight's presentation. So as I've said, my name is Alexis, and if you do not know who I am, I have been in the industry for over 9 years now, mainly in the aesthetic industry. I've worked in various skin and laser clinics, and as well as becoming a lecturer at my local college. But my real passion has always been skincare, and it's always been helping people feel more confident within their own skin and just embrace the skin that they have and make it as best that they possibly can. And I now have my own clinic space within the southwest of Devon, and I'm able to bespoke in-clinic treatments for you as well as of next week, now that we are going to be opening up again during lockdown 2.0. So
Yay.
tonight we are going to be covering supplements, myths and facts, why it is important to be taking supplements themselves, and supplements designed for not only the skin but enabling well-being as well. And I'm going to be touching on the immune system as well, because I do think, particularly this time of year, everybody's immune system does tend to dip a little bit, and it's important just to touch on sort of supplements and things that we can be doing to really help boost the immune system itself. And then we'll finish with a bit of a Q&A. So if you do have any questions through any point of this webinar, please do feel free to just type them in the chat box if you are via the Zoom app, or just in the comment section if you're watching this through Facebook Live. So if I first of all hand over to Rebekka, and Rebekka, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you. We can all hear Pablo in the background.
Pablo in the background. Sorry about that.
Bless him. Thank you for that really lovely introduction. So my name's Rebekka. I've been in the beauty industry for almost 19 years. Oh my gosh. And specialised in hands-on treatments, as well as discovering a little bit more and diving into a bit more information about the skin. And that's really where my passion lies, very much with Alexis. We can talk until we're blue in the face about skincare. So we're just a bunch of nerds, basically.
Yeah.
And I've worked with lots of brands, some brands that Alexis also carries as well. So I know that she's working with truly amazing products that really deliver results. And my main aim is to educate and inform people about taking care of their health. And I think now is a really good time, considering the situation that we're in. From internal health, so gut health, as obviously you've touched on, is really important for overall health and well-being, but also for your skin. So there's lots of things that Proto-col offers as a sort of package, but there's lots of things that you can be doing to be helping with your overall health and well-being, which then in turn helps with the appearance of your skin.
Definitely. I think tonight, as we say, we are going to be touching more on the supplement route, which we do feel, I know I did a post about it this week, in fact, saying that supplements are actually more important than skincare. And I'm sure, Rebekka, you did actually agree with me on the post that it is actually one of the most dominating things in the industry at the moment. I think it's really slightly overtaking skincare, but I did mention in the post that it's not all about just going on to supplements. It obviously does help if you've got good topical skincare to really help manage your skin as well. And I'm not telling you to rub your skin in baby lotion and supplement with all of the best supplements in the world. It is all about balance. So shall we start with a little bit of facts versus myths quiz?
Oh, yay, yes.
Yeah. Great. So guys, if you want to join in, which we'd love you to, if you could just comment in the comment section as we go through. So I'm going to read a statement out, and you just have to write in the chat box whether you feel it's a fact or whether you feel it's a myth. So, first statement. Taking a multivitamin can make up for a poor diet and prevent disease. Is that fact or is it a myth? So both Lorraine and Holly have said myth. And would you agree, Rebekka?
I would say it's a myth.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's a myth. Yes, okay, taking a multivitamin in the first place is brilliant. But as we go through this webinar, we'll be talking about how the potency of a supplement can really be the differentiation between actually things working and things just being something that's marketed really well that you just get sucked into buying, that actually the results will take forever to really show on the skin. So taking a multivitamin is almost, you have to supplement and not substitute. That's one of my lines that I always say, is that a supplement will always help to really just balance your diet and lifestyle. So if you're somebody that drinks a lot of water, then by supplementing with hydrating ingredients such as collagen and hyaluronic acid is only going to make your skin feel and look so much better because your diet and lifestyle is already there. Would you agree, Rebekka?
Yeah, I think actually this is something that we get asked quite a lot is, you know, can I take these vitamins and, you know, kind of overindulge in my diet, for example, which, you know, as nice as that would be, if you were able to take some great vitamins and just eat and drink what you want, you know, that sounds like my idea of heaven. But everything is with a balanced diet. If you've got a healthy, balanced diet, your vitamins will work a bit more effectively because you've got, you know, a good digestive system, so everything digests better. But you can't solely rely on vitamins to get all of your nutrients. You need to have that, you know, you need to have food. That's how we survive. And that's also really important as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So let's move on to the next one. Supplements are tightly regulated. Is that a myth or is that a fact? So do you feel that when you go to purchase a supplement, that supplement has been regulated equally? So Lorraine says fact. Holly says fact. So Rebekka, what do you think? And Jackie says fact as well.
That is a fact. I know that because we have to go through a lot of regulations ourselves. For example, when we want to supply our products in a different country, we have to register every single product that we have. And when it comes to supplements, it can take quite a long time. It can take up to 6 months to register products in a country. Just a random fact for you. So yeah, they have to be regulated because essentially it's something that someone is taking, so it needs to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. So that was good. Everybody got 100% there again. Well done. So moving on. Marine collagen,
Ooh,
a more beneficial source of collagen than a bovine source. Is that fact or myth? Marine collagen is a more beneficial source of collagen. Fact or myth? So everybody says fact. We've got 4 facts in the room. So look at our faces. Rebekka, just please put them out of their misery.
I am disappointed with you all.
Yeah, I really am. Big cross, big no. No. you're here and you're going to learn a lot more about this, but I have got a really good comparison image to just explain the differences between marine and bovine, because the reason why we're so cross is because marine collagen is hugely spoken about, and it's one of those that, you know, there are a lot of things out there and there are a lot of different statements out there, but this is a comparison. So bovine on the left here is 10 times more independent clinical studies proving an effect on collagen producing cells in the skin, joints, tendons, and ligaments. So, whilst we're on this, Rebekka, do you want to explain the type of collagen that Proto-col choose to use?
Yes. So this is probably one of our most frequently asked questions, because some of you that are watching will see loads of different types of marine products, more so than bovine-based products. There's only about four bovine brands in the entire UK. Various different reasons. It's quite expensive to source, so you have to have quite a lot of money behind you to, you know, to essentially have these products. And James, when he started, had financial backing to help him get like really good quality ingredients. So I guess so where does ours come from? So we use a peptide called Verisol. This peptide is sourced from a cow. So there's lots of different types of collagen. There's marine, there's porcine from a pig. There's also collagen you can get from a chicken, and then there's collagen that you can also source from a cow. Now, in structure, a human's DNA and a human's collagen helix structure is very similar to well, we're mammals, so if we extract from another mammal, the match in terms of the bioavailability is more effective for us, so therefore we can absorb it. A really good analogy as well, which I've explained recently, is it's a bit like comparing buying smoked salmon and a sirloin steak. Sirloin steak is good quality. Not saying that smoked salmon is. I'm not dissing salmon because I love fish, but that's kind of my way that I explain it. So hence, in terms of like expense, essentially. But what you'll find with Verisol, and you know, we've used it for almost 18 years. We've been around since 2003, and it's been so effective that it not only has an impact on the skin, but as Alexis has already explained, it also helps with the skin cells, the joints, the tendons, the ligaments. So you're not only treating your skin, you are treating your body. And the brand was conceived through a sporting injury that then in turn we noticed the benefits that it had on the skin. So basically, if you want the best result and a faster result without having to take a huge amount of collagen, a bovine source will be far more effective for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And somebody wrote in the chat here, it says marine sounds nicer than a piggy. And
we're not taking it from Babe or anything, don't worry.
no, we're not. And just whilst we're on this subject, Proto-col do have vegan blends as well. So if you are somebody who is a vegetarian or a vegan, then there are other options for you. It's not saying that we're sold on just bovine, because obviously everybody's different, but it's actually, you know, looking at this comparison here, you know, with marine collagen, you've got no evidence of a stimulatory effect on collagen actually producing cells. The main benefit of it is skin hydration. Well, you can get skin hydration through drinking water, but what we want to do is we want to effectively be able to hold collagen within our skin, because the only way of actually holding collagen within our skin is by ingesting it. And by the time we get to the age of 60 or we go through menopause, all of these really delightful things that I have got to come, then it's going to be that's when our collagen is depleting the most. And if we are starting to ingest collagen, as a preventative, then we're going to start to build it up within our bodies, so that when it does have to go through these delightful things, we can be prepared and our skin will be stronger for it. And overall, you can tell people that take a supplement, I find you can always tell by how healthy the glow is on their skin. You can just tell, I find. Don't you agree, Rebekka? I do feel that you can tell when people do take.
Yeah, lots of different things that you can tell. People's hair, if they've got really, really healthy, shiny hair, good quality nails, like long nails, strong nails. And you do have, I definitely have noticed a difference in my skin when I've been taking it. Really brightens up your skin,
Yeah.
and balances out the skin as well. When there's issues such as pigment damage, or I suffered with, like yourself, I've suffered with acne as well, and that's always something that I want to try and fix and maintain my skin. So it's incredibly effective, and the science, as I'm sure we're going to go through, really, really speaks for itself, and it's all on fact and it's all on evidence. We're not just saying this as a marketing tool. It's all evidence based, because we want to make sure that we're giving everyone the right information, and that we're following everything properly, to so that people can make an informed decision whether that's the right path for them.
Definitely. Yes, the percentages at the bottom here, just to finish up on this, is you've got a 90% absorption rate with no specific distribution profile. So that's really high percentage, but you don't really know where it's going. Whereas with a bovine source, you've got 98.4% absorption rate with a specific distribution profile. So it really is the difference between something that is going to be results driven and something that is, marketing at the end of the day. So are we ready to move on? I think we've got one more. So when we get to the age of 60 years old, we have no hyaluronic acid left within our skin. Is that fact or myth? If you've been taking supplements up until then, though, you may be lucky. Kim doesn't know, she isn't sure. Lorraine isn't sure. Holly says myth. Anybody else? I don't think anybody's written in the Facebook. I don't think. Jackie says, not sure, but I am taking supplements.
Yes, Jackie.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So, Rebekka, do you want to take that away?
Well, do you know what? I'm now questioning myself a little bit now. So I know that you lose 30% of hyaluronic acid at the age of 50. So I'm going to say that may be a myth. I might be wrong. I don't know.
It is actually, it is a fact. It is a fact.
I am learning. I like it.
Purely because of all of the things we have to deal with up until that point. So,
and menopause.
yeah, that is what really depletes it, if I'm honest. So if anybody doesn't know what hyaluronic acid is compared to collagen, think of collagen as like bricks, and then hyaluronic acid as the cement. So it's like the jelly in between, but the collagen is the glue that holds our skin together. So it's like the structure. And hyaluronic acid, it is holding up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So it's one of those ingredients that's found within our skin anyway. It helps to give our skin that nice elasticity. If people have injectables, then this is actually what they inject into the skin. So as people age, we find that people's skin starts to lose volume and people's skin goes a little bit more hollow. So the fact that people are putting hyaluronic acid topically on their skin, or if they've had to have injectables, then that's what's essentially padding out our skin. Okay, and as we get through to menopause, which can start, early 40s. Some people it can be, very quick. Other people it goes on and on and on and on. And that dramatically dries the skin through everything from collagen, hyaluronic acid. It's why your skin just dries up, because it just degrades everything. And if you're not using the correct products topically on the skin, if you're not taking supplementation monthly, then these are the things that are like the building blocks to prevent that. And I always say prevention is better than cure. And people that are watching this, they may think, oh, it's too late for me. But I never think it's too late. I think one of the best things is when people make that decision. The hardest thing is to actually make the decision in the first place, I find. And it's really great when you are on a journey, because it can be as quick, in the next few slides you'll see, as 8 weeks to see a result. Well, if you think how long we were in lockdown 1.0, which was 6 months, 8 weeks is nothing. We've just done another month of it. It's really nothing, is it?
No, that's interesting. I need to take more collagen in HA.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Jackie's taking that, and a few other people in this box over here are taking it. So yeah, you'll be all nodding your heads now, I'm sure. So moving on, I was now going to introduce the story and the background of Proto-col. So Rebekka, I know that you touched on it briefly earlier, but would you like to explain the interesting story of how Proto-col was founded by James Greenwell, who is pictured in this photo here?
Yes, so James is an elite pentathlete and a gold medalist. Very proud of, he's very, very proud of that. And he was basically training very hard on a cold February morning back in February in 2003. And basically, the team were racing around the track in Bath, and were racing probably a little bit too hard, to the fact that he ruptured his right Achilles tendon. There was a massive pop. He fell to the ground in complete and utter agony. Apparently, there was a few people sort of vomiting as well, because it was a bit of a dramatic situation, and he was sort of beside himself. He basically, that was his life, and actually still is. Sports to him is probably like number one on his, like, the ideal part of his life. And he was really determined to get back competing again. So he has a very close friend who actually recently was supporting Joe Wicks in his challenge for children in needs, Professor Greg White. And he's a great guy. He is a professor based in Harley Street. He specialises in applied sports science. And he had heard, he's also a very good friend of James, he'd heard of a latest peptide, hadn't been trialled yet, hadn't been tested. And with James being an athlete, they get a lot of drug tests done quite frequently. but he was prepared to just go, do you know what, I'm just going to take this and run with it, excuse the pun. And he started taking this powder, which then 21 days later, dramatically, he'd been able to compete again and start racing, which then enabled him to actually, you know, hit his personal best on a time that he'd been recovering from this injury. And it was only within 21 days that he was pretty much back up and running and competing again. And it was down to the peptide that he was taking that then made such an impact on his body and actually his life, and also his skin, because he was spending a lot of time swimming. He also had suffered with acne, so he was in chlorine quite a lot, which is also really, really dehydrating to your skin. And it was having an impact on that. And that's when the discovery of the brand came and the conception of the brand begun with capsules. And I think to this date, I think we've sold billions and billions of actual capsules across the world. Because of various different reasons and different concerns, such as the skin, such as things like cellulite, and other factors. But because of the recovery, and collagen is all about how the skin recovers, and because it's a protein, it's needed in many ways for the skin and the body. So he discovered it, and it was an accident, but obviously a very, very good accident.
I put myself on mute there, sorry. Yeah, it's brilliant to almost resonate with that as well. So the most important question is, why is it important to take a supplement? Because a lot of people, when they come in to see me, they are affected by what they can physically see on their skin. So in their minds, it's all about what they can topically put on their skin, which does have its place. When I'm doing my consultations, I will always discuss topical products, because like I said earlier, you can't be putting baby lotion on your skin every day, but be taking the best supplementation in the world, because even though you would be doing right, the topical aspect is still going to not be as best as it could be. So I've written down some points here on the slide. So number one, taking a supplement supports and provides extra nutrients that you can get alongside a balanced diet. Now, some of the supplements that we're going to go into that are really paramount for skin health really do have so many more nutrients in them that you could get in a daily diet. It's something that you wouldn't be able to weigh out every day. You wouldn't be able to physically get it in your diet every day. It would be very expensive if you were buying these ingredients individually, and it would take forever to source them, because the potency of them is what's so important. They only get elite sources. It's not about getting a cheap source when it comes to supplements. It's all about getting the right standard of ingredient, because anybody, to be honest, can create a product. They can create collagen, they can state lots of different things, but it's about how the ingredient's sourced as to how effective it will be. It also boosts the immune system, which is heavily talked about now since the pandemic, but also this time of year, everybody's immune system goes on a bit of a dip anyway. It supports well-being, and the functions of the body as well as the skin. So when you're taking a supplement, it's not just going here, it's actually helping tendons, muscles, joints, aches and pains. But also there are clinical studies to help with things like depression and anxiety as well, which we will go into. And supplements are more important than skincare. So I will always start by talking about them in the consultations. feeding the skin from within will help what the outside looks like. So, which ones do we need to take? Now, if you're looking to take a supplement and you're thinking, where on earth do I start? Obviously, a consultation is recommended so that I can be specific for you and tailor to your specific concerns at the time. But general rule of thumb, these 3 ingredients and statements below are exactly what would give you skin health. So you've got probiotic, which is to do with gut health and inflammation within the skin. Collagen is something that we've been talking about heavily already, but yes, collagen every day. And antioxidants, which I'm going to now show you different slides to explain these individually. But Rebekka, would you say if somebody's saying where do they start, is this the best place to start?
So I always look at their lifestyle first, and are they taking anything currently? But if they are basically a clean canvas, I would always look at our favourite, which is our superfoods, which I'm sure we're going to go into, purely because it's your well-being in a teaspoon, and because of all of those amazing ingredients that you have in there that really support your body, and then your system is almost prepared and kick-started, ready for when you want to take the step to start taking collagen, or a collagen source, whether it's a vegan supplement. That's quite key. It's quite a tough one, really, because on the other hand, antioxidants are also important, because we're exposed to free radicals, I'm sure, as most of your clients or patients, I'm not sure how you like to call them, or followers, friends.
Friends.
Yeah, friends. I don't know if you like the in-betweeners, but anyway, I love it. And so they're exposed to free radicals every single day. So taking superfoods actually will provide some form of free radical protection, which is what we measure in an ORAC unit. But antioxidants on top of that would be ideal. It completely depends on the person, because I could go a bit crazy with certain people, and I do myself. I take a lot of things only because I am quite committed and I know I'm very good at taking it. I set reminders on my phone when I first started taking the products, to make sure that I did take them, because it's great, and it's the same with skincare. It's great having all these wonderful things lined up, but you've got to use them. My mum is a nightmare. I've worked with all these amazing brands, and I give them these really amazing eye creams because she's concerned with her eyes. And she says, "Oh yeah, I'll just use it once a week because it's like for special occasions." You need to use it every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think
Nightmare.
if anybody is watching this and they want a more personal diagnosis whilst we are both here, then please feel free, if you want to, write it in the chat if you are wanting to get to know your skin a little bit more. As we go through these next few slides, it will explain a little bit more in detail. But if you are watching this back or watching this live and really want to know what would be best for you right now, just give us a bit of a background on your skin, age, lifestyle, and yeah, it'll be really good to help you tonight. So let's start with collagen, because I just think it's one of the best things to talk about. This is a really good before and after, this left one here. So how long ago were these images apart, Rebekka? Before and after wise, how long?
12 weeks.
12 weeks, yeah.
So 12 weeks, and this was on quite a low dose. This was on 5,000 milligrams of collagen that this person was taking. So this was post surgery. So as soon as she had that scar, that's when she started taking collagen.
Amazing. So as I've written here, collagen is a protein that makes up 30% of the proteins in the human body. It's the body's primary structural protein and is especially abundant in the skin, where it represents around 80% of dry weight in the skin. Collagen acts as the glue that holds the skin together. So remember the bricks and the cement analogy that I explained earlier. Just think about structural integrity when you think about collagen. Think about almost Madge from Benidorm, if anybody has seen that. If you haven't, you need to Google it right now. But that lady, she worships the sun. She is having her collagen depleted pretty much every day, being in Benidorm and being exposed, because she clearly, number one, isn't wearing high enough SPF, but she's just baking in UVA and UVB and all those nasty rays that are apparent in daylight. But if she were to start wearing a hat, wear a good SPF, and reapply it throughout the day, but also be taking internal antioxidants and internal collagen, her skin would naturally start to plump out, because it would be kick-starting her collagen abundance again. Does that make sense to everyone in the chat? If you want to ask anything, just feel free. But
That is such a good analogy.
I know I should have had the photo on here, shouldn't I? I'll send it to everyone after this so that you can really visualize who I'm on about. But it definitely is one of those people that as soon as I start talking about collagen, you just think it's almost like a leathery looking skin. So it's somebody that just is more either outdoorsy. You can be somebody that does a lot of exercise. And people that are generally outdoorsy, high powered jobs, high stress levels, this all really affects how collagen wants to sit in the skin, doesn't it, Rebekka?
Yeah. So it's really good to take collagen, but of course, as we mentioned in the first slide, antioxidants alongside collagen, because collagen gets depleted not only naturally through natural causes, other things can affect collagen depletion, such as you mentioned, stress, menopause. The first 5 years of menopause, we deplete 30% of our natural collagen reserves, which is why a lot of people will notice quicker aging signs through the first years of menopause. All that great things to look forward to, Alexis. And things like high sugar diet, alcohol, genetic predispositions, medication, UV damage, sun damage, stress. Light coming from, we're all at a screen right now. That light is affecting our skin. So obviously SPF protection is important topically, but we also breathe in the air, and, pollution can affect internally, and then that comes out and reflects on the skin. So antioxidants are, again, and I've kind of been banging on about them, especially recently, because it's all about repairing and keeping the skin cells safe, and actually it will make your collagen work better for you. So it's a really good complementary treatment. It's a bit like shampoo and conditioner. You wouldn't just shampoo your hair, you'd need to condition it as well, and that's how an antioxidant would work. I like these analogies.
I know, I need to start getting a pen. These analogies, I've got another one. I'm going to trump you with this one. Because if you think about politicians, look at Boris Johnson, look how he's aged throughout this pandemic, because he's got such a high powered job. He's so stressed. People generally in this situation have been stressed. You may be looking in the mirror because there has been a news article about COVID face, because people have been seeing and looking at themselves through Zoom. They've been looking at themselves more in the mirror because they're spending more time at home. We are naturally, they're saying, aging through this pandemic. And it's true, because the minute stress comes into your life, the minute you have more authority, more, we'll look at politicians, like you can just see the pattern of when they start and then when they're coming to the end, and how quickly they've aged throughout that time.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I think as well, to add, is This is why, thank goodness, from the 2nd of December, you do massages and nice, you know, pampery treatments. Have a massage as well, not just, you know, and have these treatments, because that you need to look after your mental health. Your mental health will also help everything. It makes you feel happy. And actually, when you are really happy, you have a natural glow. And when you look after yourself, and it can be just on a Sunday, like I do it as well. On a Sunday, I get my gua sha stone out. I do a proper facial. I do like deep massage. I have a nice shower. I'll put a hair treatment in. It doesn't have to be like ridiculous amount of things, but all of those types of things are so important. And personally, me, I'm very, very much a positive person, but I need to also do nice things for me and not feel guilty about it or think, oh, I should be doing something else and thinking about other people. Is allow yourself to have me time, and that will impact in your skin, and that will help suppress those stress levels slightly. But by exercising and just getting yourself into that routine is really, really important.
100%. And I always say that self-care shouldn't feel like you're being selfish, but we always feel guilty for taking time out for ourselves. We always think, oh, like you just said, oh, do we really need to do that? And actually, when you do these things and you come out of these situations, you think, actually, how did I feel during that situation? Did I fully switch off? Did I fully just relax? Because I did a story on my Instagram the other day of a client that came in. It was in between these two pandemics. And I just felt like as soon as she lied down on the couch, I just felt almost like her sigh of relief and just almost like exhale, because she had just relaxed. And it's just really nice to be able to be a part of that experience for someone, because it is so important. You know, I, like you, Rebekka, will do my routine every Sunday, and I will take the time to treat my skin, because you know it's important for us and ourselves to just have that time for ourselves. It's just getting the time. But
Yeah.
we just need to jot it in the diary and just take that half an hour
It's
or
not
hour.
it's not selfish, it's selfless. And
That's
that's what people need to be.
that's
Selfless.
definitely it. So the supplement that myself and Rebekka are talking about, and she's kindly got some there, is the collagen and hyaluronic acid. Now, this is a clinical strength supplement. So, Rebekka, let's talk clinical strength supplements versus supplements without the clinical tag. What makes them clinical?
So this range specifically that we're talking about is only sold through a registered stockist. So Alexis, you are a registered stockist, which basically means that you have a NVQ, you have over an NVQ3 qualification in beauty therapy. You understand the skin, you understand the function of the skin. And it's really important that we work with these types of people with this specific range, because we want to ensure that people that use these products get the best possible results and they're being recommended effectively. And that's how this sort of range works. The other reason why it's called clinical, can anyone guess? Maybe let's get them typing again.
Yeah, anyone in the chat?
It is quite obvious. Can anyone guess what it might be?
Anybody?
Why we call it clinical?
Anyone running their fingers back out?
They're all on Google trying to Google that lady.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Anyone?
Any takers? Why we call it clinical?
10.
They've gone quiet.
They can still hear us, can't they?
I hope so. Yeah.
Go on, put us out of our
Okay, yeah, sorry. So it's all of a clinical strength. So we were actually talking earlier as well about like clinical studies, and you can throw the word clinical. You see it on a lot of L'Oreal products and advertised on TV. They start using all these fancy words. And that sometimes can be a bit of a marketing ploy to push people, you know, to bring people in. Essentially, what it is that we have clinically tested these products. So if we think about COVID-19 and the trials that are happening across the world, obviously in Oxford, which I think obviously that sounds quite promising, what they've come up with, is there is, if you want to do, there's two different types of trials and tests that you can do. So you have a study that you could do where you call it a perception study. So that potentially could be something that Alexis could actually do, I could do with 10 people, smaller groups of people, and I'm going to ask them how hydrated is your skin? And I'm going to ask 10 people, and 9 out of 10 said their skin's, yeah, my skin's quite hydrated. That's the question's not great because, you know, what does that mean? And it doesn't really show a clear answer. And also that is only 10 people, and there is in this country alone or almost 65 million, I'm going to say, something like that. So, you know, that isn't enough. So you need to do it on wider, either hundreds or thousands of people. So we did it on hundreds of people, and very similar to the COVID tests that they're currently doing, is they have two sets of groups and two different types of injections that they're using. So they have one injection, which is a placebo. So that injection basically is nothing. And with our trials, it was basically a plain powder that they were ingesting. The other is the actual injection. So in our terms, it's the verisol peptide that we were talking about. That will determine a really clear result because you have one placebo group and one non-placebo group. Both groups are blind. They're not actually blind, but it's a double blind test. So essentially, they don't know which group they're in. So they don't know whether they're placebo or non-placebo, and that's for all medical tests that happen. So any form of jab or injection, that's how they test it before they take it to market. So this test was done, and that's essentially the findings. Obviously we've spoken a bit about some of the results, but the findings from the results were really amazing because the skin was being measured every day, the dermal, right down to the dermal layer, and so we were really able to see what the impact was and over what time period. So we could see, is it effective to start off with, and how effective is it, and how long did it take to get a result? Because that's the main thing that people want to know.
Yeah, definitely. And with something like this supplement itself, you would take 4 tablets a day. And we always say with tablets that you are to keep really hydrated when you take them, and to have them with either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. With these particular supplements, they're actually advised to take them just before bedtime. Now, why is that, Rebekka?
So the reason you want to take it before you go to sleep is the first 90 minutes of your sleep is when your body goes through something called a resting cycle. And this is when your body starts absorbing all of the nutrients and any sort of supplements that you might have taken. That's when these products are stimulated better. Also, you're not exposed to any oxidative stress because it's, you know, it's nighttime, you're not out in the elements, so it can work a little bit more effectively when you take it at night.
Perfect. Yeah, and obviously your skin is in that regenerative state overnight. So when your skin is rested, it's more likely to help stimulate these things to occur in the skin. So shall we move on to what we nickname number 16 green superfoods, which is the reason why I've got the nickname number 16 green superfoods queen is because I am obsessed with this product, as well as my clients, because they will say exactly the same. And it's really lovely to be able to share this image that I have in the PowerPoint here, because this was actually sent in from a client who
Oh,
has taken the powder supplement, because to note with this number 16, it comes in powder or tablet form. And number 16 is a blend of 16 micronutrient rich green foods containing amino acids, essential fatty acids, vitamins, enzymes, trace minerals, and antioxidants. As Rebekka stated earlier, it is well-being in a teaspoon, because within this blend of 16 micronutrients, there are two specific ingredients in here that are amazing for actually proving to help with anxiety and depression. So that's why it is nicknamed the well-being in a teaspoon, because it not only helps with inflammation within the gut, because this is helping to really maximize your healthy gut bacteria, but it's also helping to help your mood. Because as it states in the bottom of this slide, it increases energy levels and focus. And one of the comments that this client actually made to me was that they just can't believe how much more focused they are with their work, and they're much more alert, which is something that they've really noticed. It boosts the immune function. So if you're somebody that does, get a cough and cold regularly, you're quite run down a lot, this is amazing to be able to add into your routine. It combats sugar cravings. So if you get to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're really keeling over and you just need a bit of a sugar boost, this will stop those cravings. And it also detoxifies the body. So I do recommend this a lot for everyone, but specifically those clients that are suffering with breakouts and acne, because it's having this detoxifying effect on the skin. It's going to essentially reduce inflammation from the inside out. So when inflammation occurs within your gut, it sends a message to our cortisol levels, which is our stress hormone. That spikes in our skin, and that spike has a detrimental effect on our sebaceous gland, which produces oil. And it's that lovely oil that we are naturally producing within the skin. We need that. But the trouble is, when it's put under stress, it will start producing more, and that is how a breakout forms. So if we can stop that message happening within the skin by taking something like this, you will find that breakouts will heal a lot quicker. They won't become so angry, and you'll feel less bloated, for example. There are a number of different benefits. Like, I could go on talking about this. Believe me, there are so many benefits to this that it really will help everyone. And the nice thing is, if you're somebody that has overnight oats, like my client has demonstrated in this photo, or you're on the go and you'll have a shake in the morning or a smoothie, the powder can easily be added to that. Even pesto sauce, baking, if you're into baking, you can put it into energy bars and bites, or like coconut balls. Or you can take tablet form, and there really is no difference between the two. It's just more about preference as to which one you prefer to take. But by far, this is probably my favorite from clients, as well as myself, because as you can tell, my eyes light up as soon as I see this photo.
yeah, no, it's amazing. It's such a good product. And started taking it a little bit more in lockdown, and I definitely noticed a difference in just how I felt. It's bizarre, but it really does work. Another thing as well, as we're going into, I know obviously I shouldn't really say this, but we're going into Christmas. Obviously, it's not going to be the normal type of celebrations that we would normally have, but we might start drinking a little bit more. I certainly will. You know, I'm a normal human being, as yeah, Alexis is. Uh, um, and this has vine tea extract, which actually helps to clear out alcohol from your bloodstream. So if you are feeling a little bit ropey, this the next day is fantastic, and it will just light your spark again. If especially if you've got like a really busy day, you need to kind of do lots of tasks, it will help you from feeling like really sluggish and a bit tired and a bit exhausted and dehydrated. So it will really help um, boost your system if you have kind of indulged a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're all allowed to indulge. We deserve it this year, I think.
Gosh, don't we?
So let's now finally move on to antioxidants. So this is myself demonstrating the Skin Radiance capsules, which Rebekka, there you
I'm
go.
going to try and mirror you.
She's shaking them. Yeah, it's the House of Skincare pose. So this is an antioxidant rich vegan formula. So for those of you who do not want the bovine source of collagen, this is one of the vegan formulas which targets skin problems, including uneven skin tone, dark circles, redness, and hyperpigmentation spots, which is where you get a breakout and it's pigmented and it's a bit red, sometimes it's purple, and it just lingers a little bit more. They really, really help with this. It promotes more of a luminous, brighter, firmer looking skin in only 8 weeks. So this is the one that I was talking to you about earlier, where 8 weeks, your skin could be feeling like this. It contains grapeseed extract, vitamin C, zinc, and some of the quotes that people have said to me are pores were visibly reduced, their skin looked brighter, and they noticed that their skin felt softer as well. And that's not only the skin on the face, it's top to toe. Um, and I do, again, this is another one of my clients' favourites, if I'm honest. It's 2 tablets a day. And again, you take it with either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and a lot of fluid. But this is going to help with what we're talking about, oxidative stress, which is what I've explained on the next slide. How does it really work? So as we age, the skin's radiance of the skin is altered by oxidative stress. So we can get oxidative stress from our phone. We can get it through just being exposed in the garden, doing gardening when it was nice, when it was back in the summer, running outdoors, we're all getting fit and active again. That you can get oxidative stress from that. Not saying to not do it, but it's just so that you're made aware of these analogies again. So it's caused by internal and external elements. These include harmful UVA and UVB lights, pollution, and poor diet choices. So high sugar diets. City people, so if you live in a city, generally you're going to have more oxidative stress than somebody that lives by the sea, for example. It's just because there's more pollution in a city. Oxidative stress is one of the key triggers to premature aging and skin discoloration, causing collagen to degrade and for pigmentation, melanin to overproduce. So for those of you that feel like, we haven't been able to get away this year, but suddenly you have had a pigment mark appear out of nowhere, that's purely because your skin has been damaged previously, not to say when, but it would have been, and the stress from exposure, either internally or externally, has brought that pigment to the surface and it's drawn it out. So the only way of reducing that from happening is by putting on your SPF, which should have antioxidants in anyway, and reapplying it 365 days a year, not just in the summer, and when you're indoors as well, because all of those internal things are still aging you and still causing stress to the skin. And just making sure that you're taking antioxidants as well. So Skin Radiance provides the antioxidants to reduce this by providing protection, improving circulation, nourishing and hydrating the skin, and regulating the melanin to reduce hyperpigmentation and dark circles. So, do you have anything to add to that, Rebekka?
No, I think you covered that really, really well. I think, as I was saying at the beginning, antioxidants, obviously this gives you loads of benefits for your skin, dark circles, redness, etc., and pigmentation. But this is something that someone could be taking along, if they are taking collagen, as an antioxidant, and then obviously they're going to get all of these other added benefits with taking this. So this will be responsible for also protecting your skin cells, preventing any further damage, and also keeping your skin cells nicely preserved so that they stay and they remain nice and healthy, along with your collagen rebuilding from this, but also from a collagen supplement that you might already be taking.
Definitely. So that leads me on to, does anybody have any questions? I know that we've now been talking for around about an hour now. So does anybody have any questions either in the Facebook group or in Zoom right now? Type in the chat box if you have currently been taking a supplement and you want to know whether it's, the right thing to move forward with, or if there's an alternative, or if you found anything tonight interesting that you want to point out that's really something you may have not known before coming to this webinar tonight. It's always good to come away with something that you've learned, but it's been really, really great to be able to share this knowledge with you, because I am so passionate about helping you feel more confident within your skin, and whether that can be through just having, these webinars a little bit more regularly for you because you like to learn through this, or if you are interested in having treatments or having any, topical skincare or supplements, then I'm always here to help. So Holly has said, is taking capsules better than liquid collagen? That's a really good question.
That is a good question. So there's two sides really. Basically, we're able to fit more collagen in a liquid form than we are within a capsule. So the capsules can only really maintain 625 milligrams. So when you take 4, you're getting 2,500 milligrams per serving. So in the capsule, we can only fit up to that level. However, the collagen and hyaluronic acid, as we were talking about before, is still really, really effective. However, if you want to up the ante and you want to take it up a level, you also have options between the complete collagen, which is 2 types of collagen, which contains 3 grams of. I've ran out. I'm really sad. So this is really nice. It's really convenient as well. It comes in a little gel, and you literally just tear, take, and go. Or you could really up the ante. Sorry. And this is empty because I literally bathe in this stuff. I don't bathe in it. I drink it.
Don't waste it.
No. So you could also take this. So this is actually the highest strength formula that we have, and that contains 10,000 milligrams of collagen. that also has a complex of various vitamins in there, which also so does the complete collagen. So basically, in answer to your question, it's not as ineffective, but actually we're able to add higher content of collagen in a liquid form because it's just down to space. If that hopefully that answers your question.
And to check if you are currently taking a liquid, to check whether it is a marine source or a bovine source, and exactly the milligrams. Just check that compared to what Rebekka's just said, because
That's probably one of the highest on the market, I think. It's really hard to find something with that level. And essentially, it's down to how much do you want to spend, and making it sustainable each month, and how quick do you want to get results. That basically is someone like myself. I don't like faffing around, and I want to get the best.
Yeah.
So I because I've run out of complete collagen and I've got a couple of those left, I'll take that and then I'll come back to complete collagen and I'll alter between the two. I'm lucky enough to work for the brand that I get in flux with products. But I think even if I wasn't, I would still take the higher dose just because in my head I think, well, why not?
Definitely. And with those, I think they're $39.95 for a 10-day supply.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
And they're like a blood orange flavour, so they don't actually taste horrible. It's a really nice,
They're really nice.
because that's
Yeah.
always a thing with drinks. People always think, oh, what's it going to taste like? But actually, it's really pleasant. So yeah, great question, Holly. Thank you for that. Has anybody got any other questions? I'll check the Facebook group. I don't know whether we have. Don't think we do. But if you have been interested in anything that we have spoken about tonight, my recommendation is to always start with a virtual consultation, and you can do that by emailing me at alexis@houseofskincare.co.uk. My message is always to keep consistent, and always ask if you have any underlying questions. When you do embark on a journey with me, it is a journey with two people. I always am at the other end of an email, to really just help you maximize your routine at home and just make you feel more confident. So if you've ever got any burning questions, I'm always here to help. Remember that it's the combination of the correct cosmeceutical ingredients mixed with consistency that gets you the results that you desire. So thank you so much to everybody that joined tonight. I really enjoyed it, and a special thank you to Rebekka. Thank you so much for taking the time out to really help educate everybody as well. It's been really great to have you on this call.
Thank you, Alexis.
No problem. And take care, everyone. And if you're coming to see me in December, I can't wait to see you for your bespoke treatments. And I look forward to hopefully delivering more webinars to you in the future. So take care, everyone, and I will see you very soon. Thanks,
Bye.
Rebekka. Bye.
Bye.